Hi everyone, and thanks for having me. My name is Micha Kaufman and I'm the CEO and founder of Fiverr, a digital platform that connects freelancers with businesses. I'm here today to talk about the liquid workforce. As part of this discussion, we'll look at how the way we work has changed over the last decade. Freelancing was never something that was seen as a career. It was seen as something that you did between jobs. Throughout the last decade, the number of freelancers began to grow. Millennials were leading the charge. For them, this wasn't about work, it was a lifestyle. They yearned for the freedom of doing what they love, the flexibility of how and when to work, and the confidence that comes with being your own boss. And they were able to achieve this through freelancing. They became known as digital nomads. For the past 10 years or so, when you would type freelancer, remote worker, or digital nomad into Google, often you would get images of people with their laptops on a beach, sitting in a coffee shop in Paris, or hiking up a mountain. They claimed to be busy and to work, though many didn't trust that. There was this belief that if you were not tied to a desk, in an office, in a particular city, then you were not working hard. As all of you know, given that most of you are working remotely now, this is not the case. And I'm happy to say that I think that the stigma around this segment of the workforce is gone as well. Digital workers have become remote workers. We've learned that productivity doesn't fail under these conditions and is often even better. We learned that people can still be creative, innovative, and inspiring, even more so in many cases while working remotely. Now, when you type these words into Google, you get tips on how to best work from home, research reports on productivity and remote work, and experts calling independent work and remote work the new norm. An interesting question I ask myself often is, has COVID-19 forced the death of the traditional 9-to-5 office job? To be honest, I don't know what the answer is just yet, but there is no doubt in my mind that it has accelerated a transition that we were already seeing in the workforce, and that work in the future is going to be a lot more flexible and liquid than it has been up until now. We are now entering an era where businesses are starting to realize that by working with freelancers, they have the ability to scale up and down as needed, something that has never been more important than it is today, as budgets are tight and businesses are adapting to new rules. As businesses have been forced to adapt, it has created new opportunities to look at how they are structured, their core competencies, and their overall staffing. There is a newfound confidence in business leaders in managing remote workers effectively and finding the right tools to help with that. Per a recent survey we conducted of over 2,000 businesses globally, 52% said they are allocating more budget to freelance services. Managing a blended workforce requires a different approach to technology. In fact, 52% of employees said that their employer needs to invest in better technology, and 75% of executives agree that they regard digital transformation as becoming more urgent in light of COVID-19. With all of this in mind, we recently launched a new platform, Fiverr Business, to address these needs. But there's also going to be massive growth. The culmination of all the things we just discussed, the growth of freelancers in the workforce, the newfound confidence in working with them, and the adaptation of the corporate teams has resulted in new businesses being created at a record pace around the world. These new businesses will look different than businesses of the past. Like the millennials that came before them who created a digital nomad and turned freelancing into a career, I believe these new businesses will be digitally savvy, flexible and agile, and able to scale up and down as needed. The last decade was spent building up the freelance population, and this decade will find businesses incorporating them into their companies' and teams' workflows in intuitive ways. In fact, according to a US Census Bureau, Americans are starting new businesses at the fastest rate in more than a decade, as made evidence by the graph in the presentation. On Fiverr, we've seen an 85% increase in searches for brand names and an 83% increase in the searches for trademarks. It's proof that even in tragedy, there's still hope. Hope for a better future for an innovative future and a new generation of skilled, flexible workers.